So lots of worrying things are happening in the UK. Free speech is under crisis. Apparently 30 people a day are being arrested for things that they said on Twitter or on the internet. 30 people a day is a lot of people, but don't worry, there are a lot of us in the UK. So on current rates, it will take 4,000 years before everybody in the UK is in jail for something they said. That we can turn our mind to some other problems. For example, the safety of the Prime Minister. That's what's really worrying me at the moment. And you may have seen this spate of attacks, possibly Zoolander inspired, of young pretty boys who've been attacking cars and residencies associated with the Prime Minister, which I am deeply concerned about. And frankly, I don't understand what is happening here. And so I'm making this video as a plea to all of you, because I know that, as a hive mind, perhaps we can try and figure out if there's any sort of connection or anything that, might be worth exploring on this. So George Galloway kind of really kicked this off. He asked this question. He said, how did a Ukrainian male model, age 21, limited skills in English, locate 3 properties and a car currently or formerly owned by Keir Starmer and allegedly firebomb them? And why? Do we have any journalists left in Britain? Makes you pine for news of the world. Yes, I mean, this is deeply concerning. All of us here in the UK love and respect our Prime Minister, and we have to say so, because otherwise we'd be in jail. But no, we genuinely love the man, and we want to make sure that he's okay. And we've got to figure out what is going on here. So this is one of the alleged arsonists. He is one of the trio of male models. Now, personally, I've for a long time been admirer of female models. I do like them, but I can imagine that if I was perhaps wired a little bit differently, I might look at this chap and think to myself, "Oh, he's a pretty little thing, isn't he? I mean, he is. I mean, I guess this must bode very well for his male modelling activities, that he's, a pretty young lad, isn't he?" Anyway, moving on. Here he is again. Oh, lovely shot there. Doesn't directly appeal to me, but if you are wired a little bit differently, you might well be thinking, must bode in his favour as a male model. Now, apparently this is about him. My name is Stannis Lav. I was born in the west of Ukraine in a small town, Churchvisty, something like that. I started my modelling career quite recently. I wish to enter into the top of the male modelling world in the world. He's quite tall, isn't he? He's 6'3". Lovely brown eyes, brown hair, age range 19 to 29. And he is ethnically ambiguous, very exotic, and multiracial. He puts down. That must bode well for him. I don't know this scene at all. Is male modelling? Is that a full-time gig? I mean, can you pay the rent? Keep yourself fed and clothed on the odd modelling job, or do you take other income? I'm asking because I genuinely don't know. How these people pay the bills, but I mean, he's a good-looking lad, so why shouldn't he do well in that industry? This is one of the other ones. I think this is the first one that came to attention. Roman Lavrinoch. I don't know. He has a name, Roman something. And here he is on Smiler. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's an app for getting hold of male models when you need one at short notice. Very handy app, I'm sure. Another photo of how he would have looked a few years ago. What's a few years ago? I mean, before the current government came into office, that sort of period. Roguish, boyish, good looks. Looks very young there, doesn't he? In that first shot that he puts up. Yes. Now, it's it is a dreadful shame that our Prime Minister is having to worry about these arson attacks, because our Prime Minister has a lot of better things that he needs to be doing. For example, he's doing sterling work on trying to get a new deal post Brexit with the EU, and he's giving all sorts of concessions to them. So look, he's doing that hard, important work there. What else? Potholes. He's got to solve the pothole problem. Our Prime Minister is a busy man. I mean, what else is he doing? What's this story here? Keir Starmer becomes the first PM to take HIV test. Well, I mean, obviously, goes without saying that Keir Starmer is a happily married man, and he has absolutely no reason to take an HIV test, other than the fact that he is spreading awareness, and he is raising the profile of these important medical interventions. So this is all important work that Keir Starmer is doing. The Brexit stuff, the Ukraine stuff, the potholes, and the HIV tests. He's a busy man, isn't he? So, and as of this morning, the story has developed. There is a third man who is connected to the male modelling scene, who is a part of this, wicked group of very pretty young lads who are targeting, or appear to be targeting, the Prime Minister. News out this morning. Third man charged as part of investigation into North London fires. Petro Pochnok, 34, of North London, another Ukrainian national, has been charged with a conspiracy to commit arson with the intent to endanger life, namely conspiring with Roman something and Stannis something, and others unknown, to damage by fire properties belonging to another. Formerly, we understand, the Prime Minister, intending to damage the properties, intending to endanger the life or another, being reckless as to. Well, they're all very pretty, and they're all Ukrainian. Odd connection. I honestly don't get what's going on here. This is a bit more detail on the story that's just emerged this morning. So yes, the charges relate to 3 alleged arson attacks linked to Keir Starmer, a vehicle in the Kentish town on 8th of May, a blaze at the former residence in Islington on 11th of May, and a fire at another home where Keir Starmer lived before becoming Prime Minister. Pochnikok, whatever, was arrested in Chelsea, London. He is accused of conspiring with fellow Ukrainian Roman something and Stannis Lav something, both of whom have also been charged. Lavanochvich has been charged with 3 counts of arson and intended to endanger life. Well, I mean, let's just all say this is all alleged. The police are diligently doing their work to try and find out what's going on. Here we have a story. This doesn't take into account today's news of a third, very pretty male model who appears to be targeting wherever it was that the Prime Minister was living until just a few years ago. Where how they pick those addresses out, we just genuinely don't know at this moment. So here are he's Romanian. So it's 2 Ukrainians and a Romanian. Is it? Romanian 26, who dreamed of being world's top model, appears in court over arson attacks that target Keir Starmer's £2 million home after being arrested at Luton Airport. So here we got some details. Mail Online can reveal that he worked in construction. Oh, okay, so that's maybe how he paid the bills, because maybe male modelling is not enough to pay the rent and all the rest. So he did a bit of construction. That must be difficult on the hands if you've got aspirations of being a hand model. My knowledge of male modelling is it all comes from Zoolander, so I know that's a thing. Right, so he's an inspiring actor and model. In a video on his website, he loves East London life and taking his dog for long walks in the park. It's funny. I tell you, I mean, this is completely off topic. I used to work with a woman who swore blind, but at taking her dog for a walk in London Park as a brilliant way to meet men. That just popped into my head after he mentioned that. Why he was, I mean, he was probably just walking his dog because his dog needed a walk. Perfectly reasonable. Yeah. So he's accused of conspiring with Ukrainian Roman something, and we got another one out today. 3 counts of arson. He was detained at Luton Airport. A third man remains in custody after his arrest in Chelsea yesterday. Okay, so they're mentioning a third man. I did find some potential photos of a third man, but nothing that's been published in the press yet. And I don't want to make any mistakes with this video because, quite frankly, I don't want to go to jail. And a couple of photos. He's a dashing, pretty young thing, isn't he? Very nice. Oh, there's the blaze. This is presumably the vehicle that set on fire just outside of the residence where Keir Starmer lived until a few years ago. Dreadful. I mean, dreadful. Prime Minister should not have to put up with this. A car was set alight in the same street 4 days earlier. A third was set on fire on May 11th in front door of a house, converted flats in Islington. The defendant, flanked by 2 police officers in the dock, spoke Russian via an interpreter to confirm his details. He wore Hugo Boss hoodie and green cargo trousers in the dock. What else have we got? So he's been living in Britain for 9 years. Oh, right, okay. So he's God. He must have been quite young, even more boyish. Perhaps when he first moved here, and he's currently quite boyish, right? He previously lived in Islington while attending university. Court heard he comes from a working family, and his father dressed in a red check shirt, jeans, and Reebok trainers at the back of the court during the hearing. Okay, right. What else does he say? Oh, he denies being present at the scene of any of the fires, the court were told. The 26-year-old, who was supported by his father in court, works in construction. Okay, so the male modelling must just be a bit of a sideline. Chief Magistrate Paul Golding reprimanded it into custody. And look, there we got a photo of the front door of the property, which appears to be somebody tried to break in the front door of this property, which was formerly associated with the Prime Minister. Again, I'm just appalled by it. The Prime Minister should not have to suffer damage to his front door. Well, not just his front door. I mean, I hope the integrity of the Prime Minister's back door is not in question either. I mean, the doors of the Prime Minister or places that he'd live should not be attacked. Awful business. There's the Prime Minister, who's not been asked too many questions about this because he's a busy man. It is interesting that the mainstream press is not asking more questions. It falls to George Galloway, but I guess the press, they're busy too, aren't they? They've got a lot of things on their mind. So yeah, more details on this. Blah. Shortly after he allegedly set fire to a car owned by the Prime Minister, which was parked outside Sir Keir's family home. Oh, goodness. Around 1 a.m, the blaze was started, damaging the porch of the property, but the occupants were unharmed. Well, thank goodness. After firefighters stopped the flame from spreading, and that's a blurred photo, one of the alleged, arsonists and door damagers. This is the key line here. Detectives have not been able to establish any motive for the attacks. Right. And Miss Presbeluska saying, at this stage, the alleged offending is unexplained. Well, and that's what motivates me to make this video, because, for the life of me, I cannot think of any reason why these three, very, very pretty, aspiring male models, very young, I have no idea why they would attack properties associated with the Prime Minister. I don't even know how they know where those properties are. I mean, I certainly don't. I'd imagine none of you know where the Prime Minister has or hasn't lived. I mean, that sort of information is guarded, quite well for obvious security reasons. And the fact that the police are just simply baffled by this strange set of events. I mean, it's worrying me. And, I hope the Prime Minister is okay. I hope he doesn't have to suffer any more damages on his cars, his front door, his back door by any more of these male models. This has to stop. I hope everyone's okay. If you can figure out what's going on, then you're a better man or woman than I, because like the detectives, I am simply baffled by this, and please don't arrest me.